Have you ever found yourself staring at a menu at a restaurant, completely lost on how to order in English? Maybe you worry that the server won't understand you, or you'll get something that you didn't want. You get that feeling like you're awkward, anxious, and maybe even a little embarrassed. You're not alone. This is a common feeling. I get the same feeling, or I used to, when ordering in Korean. So it's not something to be embarrassed about. Ordering food in English is not as hard as it sounds. It's kind of like tying this bow tie. At first, it feels tricky, even a little frustrating. I know I used to be when I first learned how to do it. But once you learn the steps, you can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it smoothly and confidently. And when you get it right, you look sharp and you feel great, just like you do when you get your order just like you want it. Now, I'll give you a quick tip. You can actually use right now. When you go to order, start with I'd like, followed by whatever it is you'd like. It's clear, it's polite, it works in any restaurant or cafe. For example, you might say at the Italian place, I'd like the bow tie pasta. Please. See? Simple and effective. So tonight, let's fix this together. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to order food in English like a pro. And stick around, because I'll also share one simple phrase that can save you from embarrassing mistakes at any restaurant. Trust me, you'll want to hear this one. All right, let me tell you about May. She was traveling to New York City, and she was on a business trip, and the first night she went to a diner. The waitress asked her, "How do you want your eggs?" Uh-oh. That's when May froze. Because you see, she knew the words for eggs, but not the styles. Scrambled, fried, poached. So she panicked and just said, "Yes?" The waitress looked puzzled, and May ended up with a plate that she really didn't want. Does that sound familiar? Ordering food is one of the most common situations in English, but it's also one of the most stressful. I don't know why. But the good news is you don't need to be perfect in English. You just need a few go-to phrases and a little confidence. So we're going to work on both tonight. So, what exactly should you say to order food smoothly? Let's break it down, and while we go through these tips, don't forget, you can drop your questions in the chat, and I'll answer a few at the end of the show. Don't be shy. Go ahead and ask those questions. All right, have you ever sat in a restaurant? The waiter's staring at you, and suddenly you feel like you've forgotten every English word you know. That moment of panic is so common. And that's exactly why we need a simple plan. Ordering food doesn't have to be stressful. You just need a few go-to phrases. You want to keep it short. We're going to go through some of these common phrases like I'd like or can I have. Polite, natural phrases. You're going to want to keep it short. You want to stay polite. Always try to remember, say please and thank you. And remember that please always changes everything. It makes everything go more smoothly. So we're going to walk through these simple phrases, and I'll show you what to do. Well, maybe we'll even get into a little slang too. All right, let's start with the simplest first. So picture this. You're sitting at a busy cafe. Your waiter comes over, pen already hovering over the pad, and suddenly it feels like the spotlight is on you. What do you say? Well, don't freeze. Here are some simple phrases that work every time. We'll start with I'd like. You could say, I'd like the bow tie pasta, please. Right? It's casual. Well, it's more polite to say I'd like. It's very professional. If you want something, I'd like it. Another way that's a little casual and friendly says, can I have? Like, can I have a chicken sandwich, please? Don't forget, you could say, could I get? You don't want to forget your drinks now. Could I get a bottle of water? Right? Can I get, or could I, or can I? Both of those work. You could say, I'll have the coffee, please, or I'll take a cup of coffee. It's short, it's confident, it tells you exactly what you want to do. And for a little spice, if you want to adjust your order, now's the time to do it. You want to change something, you can lean in a little bit or raise your finger and say, oh, could I have it without onions? Or could you make it a little less spicy? These little small adjustments, they show that you have confidence and that you know what you want. And when you know what you want, then you can get what you want if you know how to ask for it. So let's talk about some other phrases that you could use for special requests. So you're at the restaurant, the food smells amazing, but you want to make a small change. Maybe you don't like onions, or you want dressing for your salad on the side. So here's a few essential phrases that can make it easy and polite. So try this. Could I have it without? It's a strange way to say it, but it's very common in English at a restaurant. Could I have it without? You might say like, could I have it without onions? Or you could say, could you add? If you want to add something more. Can you make it, excuse me, can you make it in a special way? Or could you put it on the side, please? Like, maybe you say, could you add extra cheese? Very conversational. It's natural. It shows that you have confidence. And it comes across as more polite because you say could instead of saying just add extra cheese. So here's a pro tip. If you're unsure about how something is cooked, just ask. I'm always telling you, ask questions. So just ask, how is this prepared? Or what's in this dish? Most waiters and waitresses are happy to take the time to explain. So just imagine you got your menu, you're pointing at it and asking with a smile. That takes the pressure off of you, and then they're going to guide you through it. Just say, what's in this dish? Especially if you're in a place where the dishes are not familiar to you. And don't worry, if you don't understand their answer, don't panic. It's perfectly fine to say, could you repeat that? Or, I'm sorry, what does that mean? That's better than guessing. Guessing gets you the wrong food. Asking gets you the right one. So, next time you're out to dinner, picture yourself saying these lines with confidence and then getting exactly what you want. Now, picture this. You've been waiting for your food and the plate finally arrives and oh no, it's not what you ordered. Maybe the burger has cheese you didn't ask for. Oh, or maybe the pasta is swimming in sauce that you didn't like or can't eat. What do? Well, first of all, stay calm. Don't panic. Don't get angry. Be polite. Remember, a simple smile and a nice phrase works wonders with the people who are helping you. You don't want to make enemies out of your servers. So you could say something like, excuse me, I think this is the wrong order. Or, I'm sorry, I asked for no cheese. They'll take care of it. Or, can I get this to go instead? Maybe you just got a call. Now you have to go. They'll take care of it. Don't worry. It's short, respectful, clear. Like I said, the waiter is not your enemy, and you don't want them to be because they can make your food messed up. They want to help you. especially in America, they want your tip. And then when you speak politely and confidently, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fix the problem quickly. So look, I've had this happen to me plenty of times. Once in a small diner, I got served someone else's pancakes. I didn't make a scene. I just said, excuse me, I think these belong to that table over there. The server laughed. They swapped the plates and even gave me some extra coffee on the house just for being patient. That's the power of handling problems confidently and patiently. Less stress and a lot better results. So let's talk about food preparation styles. Okay, we're not going to do a whole script here. Let's look at the styles that you can order, and then we'll also throw in a little slang, fun slang that you might hear as well. I think you'll love it. We're going to talk about eggs and steak, because those are the 2 main places that you're going to have that question, how do you like your eggs? So you go to breakfast and the waiter says, oh, how do you like your eggs? Don't panic. Again, here are your options: scrambled, boiled, poached, or sunny side up. And if you want your eggs fried, you'll often hear choices like over easy, over medium, and over hard. Over easy means the egg is fried on both sides, but the yolk is still runny. Over medium, the yolk is cooked partly, but it's still soft. And over hard means that yolk is firm. And so you might say something like, I'd like my eggs over easy, please, or scrambled, please. Very simple, right? That breakfast looks delicious, doesn't it? All right, now picture you're at a steakhouse. The server might ask you, or will ask you, how do you want your steak cooked? Or how do you want it cooked? Now the common answers are rare, as you see, which means lightly cooked on the outside and mostly red inside. That's good stuff, very juicy. Medium rare or medium, that's when the center is pink and warm with a nice balance of tenderness and flavor. Medium well, your steak is mostly brown with just a hint of pink in the middle. And well done means there's no pink at all. It is fully cooked all the way through. It's often firmer and drier. Not my personal favorite. I'm not a big fan of medium well or even well done. But some people, they prefer it that way, you know. So if you say medium, please, you're asking for the balance. It's not too raw. It's not too tough. All right. Now for some fun food slang. In some diners in the U.S., coffee, you may have heard this, might be called a cup of joe. Eggs, sunny side up, are often nicknamed eggs with a smile. And if someone says, hold the onions, or hold the sauce, or hold anything, it means leave that off. So hold the onions. It doesn't mean hold it in your hand. It just means take it off. So next time you order, don't just think about the dish that you want. Think about how you want it prepared. So you can use phrases like, I'd like my steak medium rare. That's how I like mine. Can I get my burger well done? Usually a good idea with burgers. And I'll take the eggs sunny side up. These little small details will make you sound more natural and make sure you actually enjoy what lands on your plate. Very useful. So, what's your favorite way to order steak or eggs or coffee? Or, if you have a funny or awkward food ordering mistake story, drop it in the chat. I'd love to hear about it. And remember, I'll answer a few questions right after the Mastery Minute. Okay? And here is your challenge for this week. I want you to practice ordering food in English, even if it's just at home or pretending with a friend. Use one of today's phrases like, I'd like something, or can I have? And always remember to add the please. Simple, but powerful. And if this episode helped you out, give us a like, subscribe, check out the full blog post at allaboutenglishmastery.com. The link is in the description. You're going to love that. And don't forget, you can also join Mastering English for Busy Professionals. If you've ever said, I want to improve my English, but I just don't have the time, this course is made for you. In just 10 minutes a day, you'll get practical, proven strategies and step-by-step guidance designed to fit the busiest schedule. No cramming, no overwhelming, no memorizing vocabulary or studying grammar, just small daily wins that add up to big confidence at work, while traveling, or in daily life. And now, it's my favorite time for the show. It's the time for the Mastery Minute. And in today's Mastery Minute, the phrase is on the house. Whoa, what does that mean? Well, picture this. You're sitting in a cozy cafe. The smell of coffee, freshly brewed, it's swirling around the air. You finish your drink. You walk up to pay, and the cashier smiles and says, "Don't worry, it's on the house." In that moment, your eyes widen. What does that even mean? Did you hear it correctly? Everyone else seems relaxed, but you're just wondering if you misunderstood. Why would the coffee be on the house? The suspense is now building in your mind. Oh, but then it clicks. You've just been handed a little surprise, a gift, a secret bonus that you weren't expecting. Now, what does it mean? It doesn't mean that the coffee's sitting on the roof. It means that it's free. My favorite four-letter F word. It's a treat from the restaurant or the cafe. The phrase actually goes back to old pubs and inns where the house meant the establishment itself. If something was on the house, it was covered by the business, not the customer. So, you could have for example, you might go to a place and they say, our desserts are on the house tonight. Hey, that's great. That means free cake. And who doesn't love free cake? Come on. So just remember this phrase, on the house. It's a small one, but it can make your day. And when it happens to you, don't forget the most important phrase in English, thank you. All right? Keep the good vibes flowing with that simple response. And that is sweet, both literally and figuratively. And that's it for tonight. We went overtime again, but hey, we're having fun. Tonight we talked about how to order food like a pro in English. If you ever have questions, drop them in the chat or in the comments later on. From the first phrase you use to making special requests to handling surprises with confidence, that's all the stuff we covered. These are real-world tools that you can use every time you sit in a cafe or a restaurant and they're speaking English. And next time, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, English idioms. We're going to talk about some key ones and how you can learn them in minutes. If you ever felt lost when someone drops an idiom in conversation, let this episode be your guide. So we'll talk about meanings, share some surprising stories behind their meanings, and show you how to make idioms a part of your everyday English. And hey, if this episode helped you, remember, hit that like button, share it with a friend, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. I'm Dennis Wilborn, and this has been 20-Minute Mastery. I'll see you next time.